Hey guys, Chris here again for Project Nerf, and today we're going to take a look at springers and how to get more power out of them. Alright, I was recently asked the very basic question. Bigger spring, more power, right? Well, yes, but definitely not complete. With your Springer blasters, it's not just the spring is going to determine how much power the blaster makes. The spring is only one part of the blaster's beating heart, which is the plunger assembly. So we're going to take a look at some of them as they've evolved over time and discuss a few things that are going to help you get more power out of that springer. Okay, so we're going to start with the old school reverse plunger. Here we are. This would have been commonly found in any of the in-strike blasters, such as the Recon, the original Alpha Trooper, the Deploy. Any of those things would have had pretty much this same plunger assembly in it. And its biggest problem is a complete and total lack of volume of air. You've got this length by that small diameter and then a ton of dead space in here. The dart would come back to approximately here, and you've got all of this dead space with only that tiny volume of air, hence the poor performance. And all reverse plunger blasters perform poorly for what they are. Here's another one. Some of you guys may recognize it. This is out of the Mega Centurion. Now this looks big, but it is also the reverse plunger. Okay, and it's got a pretty healthy spring in it. But, let me see if I can do this and get it held in place for you. There we go. All of this between here and here, where the dart's got to set, so between this point and this point is just dead space. This is a big volume of air. However, it's got a big hole in the end of it. Don't know if that actually goes anywhere. No, it looks like it is capped. So I take that back. Let me not dog on the Mega Centurion too much. But anybody who's been playing a while knows the Centurion performs very poorly as far as Mega Blasters go. And this is why. It's a giant reverse plunger. It's the same thing that they did in the Elite Blasters with the long strike. It performed much more poorly and has less modding potential than the long shot that came before it. Fortunately for us, the Elite Blaster came around. It's a direct plunger, and I've got a Elite plunger tube here. And you can see basically the operation of this. Here's your breech. When you prime the blaster back, it pushes that out. The catch catches, you prime back forward, the O-ring there, and you have this volume of air, but only this much dead space. So much less dead space in a direct plunger than a reverse plunger, and a larger area. The plunger head is physically bigger than it would be on the old reverse plunger, hence why your Retaliator outperforms your old school Recon. Like I said, this is a standard size nowadays for pretty much all the Elite Blasters. This one came out of a Retaliator. It's basically the same plunger assembly that would be in the Recon Mark II, in the Elite Alpha Trooper. Even the Alpha Hawk is a modified variant because it's a revolver, but it's the same size plunger head and tube. So it's pretty standard. Pretty much all the Elite Blasters have a nice seal too, so really not a lot of improvement there as far as that goes. I was asked by someone who recently brassed out a Retaliator why they weren't getting really good performance out of it, and this is why. It's not the same as doing an LS, guys, not the same as doing a long shot, okay? This is a very tiny volume of air to force a dart down a full-length brass barrel, which they had done. So I advised them to cut that barrel, that 17/32 barrel, back at the muzzle and kind of tune the blaster in. Moving on, this one is out of a Mega Cyclone Shock. And you can see here, it's your typical revolver style with the front seal, but quite a bit of plunger tube there, and it is pretty much a full draw. There's no air release holes or anything like that in it, and so you wonder why some of your Mega Blasters perform. There's a lot of air that flows through here. No, I don't know. I may take this one and put it in something else. Of course, then you've got the king daddy of all plunger tubes here, the long shot. People ask, why do long shots perform well, especially with upgraded springs and brass breeches? Look at this volume of air. Hey, your dead space is really only about this much as far as dead space. Hey, but look at the volume of air in this thing. It's huge. It's big around. And just to give you the idea here, this is right next to the reverse size plunger of the Mega Centurion. And it's only slightly smaller. This is the plunger assembly out of a Demolisher rocket. So it's a big, beefy plunger, but look at the size difference, okay? Almost not worth mentioning. This is why long shots can do stuff like break glass, hurt people, etc., etc., with the proper modifications. So, does your spring load truly determine the power of your blaster? Well, no, not at all. It's one part of a larger system. So, the three things that we need to address when trying to get power out of our springers is our seal throughout the system. Okay, our spring power is definitely a part of it. So you'll definitely want to upgrade your spring if you're looking to get that power. And then plunger tube volume. The more of it you have, the more potential you have to transfer energy and impart it onto your dart to get that big, mind-numbing power like you see with long shots, for example. Guys, I hope this was a helpful video to you. Till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying have a blast.